Some relief for former Union Telecom Minister and DMK leader Dayanaidhi Maran. The Supreme Court has stayed his arrest till the 14th of September. Maran is accused of misusing his position as Telecom Minister between 2004 and 2007 by installing 323 telephone lines and leased line connections at his boat club residence in Chennai. And the loss to the BSNL was up to 1.2 crore rupees as alleged by the CBI. And the CBI has said that those lines were used by Sun TV, which is owned by Maran's elder brother, Dayanaidhi Maran. The Supreme Court also wanted to know why Maran's arrest was required in the case and why a questionnaire could not be sent to him. In fact, just 2 days back, the Madras High Court had cancelled the anticipatory bail which had been given earlier to Dayanaidhi Maran. Right, joining me now from Chennai is my colleague Shisha Reddy. Shisha, an interesting observation was made by the Supreme Court today, almost suggesting that it was perhaps a case of political vendetta. And I quote, "Political vendetta should not come into it. He's a political person and there may be people who want to fix him. We don't know, less said the better." This almost gives strength to Maran's case because he has all along been maintaining that it is a case of political vendetta, right?
Well, exactly. So that's what he has been saying, that, he is innocent and there was no 300 connections that was fixed at his house. So that is something that he has been maintaining ever since this case was foisted against him. And of course, this comes as a huge relief for Maran. But again, one can't forget that there are 2 more cases that Maran will have to face, and also in a state which is going to face the elections in the coming months. And how this will affect the DMK is something one has to look at. And I'm now joined by senior journalist R. Mani. DMK, or this of course, but there are 2 other cases as well, right?
Yeah, today's development is a huge relief. I can call it as a huge relief, not only for Marans but also for the DMK. You see, any arrest of Dayanaidhi Maran will have a cascading effect on not only Marans and their empire, business empire, but also on the chances of the DMK in the run-up to the elections. Because at a time when DMK is crying hugely about Jayalalitha's corruption, one of its senior members getting arrested in a corruption case will have a deeper effect on its electoral chances. So in that sense, today's Supreme Court development is a huge development not only for Maran but also for Karunanidhi.
Right, all right, sir. So very clearly, Sudhir, this is of course a significant development, but one has to wait and see how this entire case unfolds. Not only this, but also the enforcement director's case and also the Axis Max's deal, which is due this year end.
All right, quickly, Shisha, has there been any kind of reaction from the DMK camp, or they continue to maintain that this is essentially Dayanaidhi Maran's case to deal with?
Well, Sudhir, the DMK has been maintaining that. Of course, the earlier Karunanidhi did say that Maran will deal with all these cases legally. But today, yes, of course, this is a case of political vendetta is what the DMK has been maintaining, including the DMK party treasurer Stalin said the same thing.
Right. Shisha Reddy and Mr. R. Mani, thanks a lot for joining us there from Chennai. Now, where are you likely to find children in Mehboob district of Telangana state? You would guess that should be in a classroom in different schools of the district, but that's not really the case. They are mostly found in cotton fields, engaged in the work of cross-pollination. Pathetic education infrastructure has ensured that most children, up to 50%, are actually pushed into child labor pretty early. This is my special report from Mehboob district of Telangana.
129 of the 414 students from class 1 to 8 at this upper primary school in Gattu Mandal of Mehboob Nagar district of Telangana are absent today. In fact, they have been absent for several weeks now. Their parents have good reason not to send them to school. There are only 2 teachers and only one of them, Shanti, was present when we visited the school, teaching 2 classes at the same time.
ఇక్కడ ఇబ్బంది అంటే సార్ స్ట్రెంగ్త్ చాలా ఎక్కువ ఉంది సార్. ఇంట్లోకి వెళ్ళి అడిగినా కూడా పేరెంట్స్ ఏం చెప్తారంటే టీచర్స్ తక్కువగా ఉన్నారు, వాళ్ళకి ఏం టీచ్ చేయగలుగుతారు అన్న విషయం ఒకటి వస్తుంది సార్. అందుకే ఏం చేస్తారు, ఇక్కడ పొలాలకు సీడ్ పత్తికి దాంట్లకు పంపిస్తున్నారు.
The students who are absent, we are told, are engaged in labor in the cotton fields. So we asked the school clerk Krishnaveni to take us to the fields. There we find Madhuri, a student of class 4, roll number 20, at a field just half a kilometer away. Agents prefer to engage children as their nimble fingers are better at cross-pollinating cotton buds. They, of course, do not care for the adverse health effect on the child.
ఈ అమ్మాయి 3 months నుంచి స్కూల్ కి రావడం లేదు. తర్వాత ఇక్కడే చేలోనే ఉంటుంది. పొద్దు నుంచి సాయంకాలం వరకు అమ్మాయి ఇక్కడే చేలోనే ఉంటుంది. ఈ చేలలో వచ్చేసి పురుగులది చేనుకు మందు వేశారు. ఆ మందు వల్ల ఆ పాపకి ప్రమాదం జరగవచ్చు. ఇలా అమ్మాయి పని చేయడం వల్ల చట్టరీత్యా నేరం. ఈ అమ్మాయి చైల్డ్ లేబర్.
Madhuri works from early morning till sunset for 4 months a year, from July to October. Every child gets 200 rupees a day for their effort.
బడికెళ్తే ఏం దొరకదు, పొలంలో పని చేస్తే అన్నం దొరుకుతుంది కడుపు నిండా.
Finding 11-year-old Shravani engaged in labor, clad in her school uniform, is testimony to just how the child labor racket has taken advantage of the non-existent education infrastructure.
బడికి పోతే మా అమ్మలు పంపిస్తారు కానీ శిల్పతికి నానే వస్తాను సార్.
స్కూల్ బాగాలేదా? ఎందుకు?
4,549 చిల్డ్రన్ అవుట్ ఆఫ్ స్కూల్ వచ్చారు. 10,344 చిల్డ్రన్ ఈ స్కూల్లో ఉన్నారు. దాంట్లో కూడా రెగ్యులర్గా బడికి రాని పిల్లలు దాదాపు 30%, అంటే నియర్లీ 3,000 అబోవ్ చిల్డ్రన్ రెగ్యులర్గా బడికి రాకుండా ఈ పనులలో ఉన్నారు.
The political establishment that belongs to the ruling Telangana Rashtra Samiti has nothing to say beyond mouthing platitudes.
మరి మన సాధ్యం ఉన్నంత వరకు చెప్తున్నాము. ఎవరు వచ్చినా టీచర్ల కొరత ఉంది, తీర్చండి అంటాం, కానీ ఇంతవరకు ఎవరేం పట్టించుకుంటలేరు.
The bottom line is that every cotton shirt that I'm wearing, for instance, or every cotton sari or top that you're wearing is produced in India using child labor. The fact that there are only 76 teachers to teach the 10,000 plus kids in 56 schools in Gattu Mandal of Mehboob Nagar district instead of the 300 teachers who should ideally be appointed gives parents the justification to convert their young kids into bread earners very early in life. With camera person Manohar in Gattu Mandal of Mehboob Nagar district, very close to the Karnataka border, this is T.S. Sudhir for India Today. Right, joining me now for a perspective is Mr. Venkat Reddy, child rights activist, also director of the MV Foundation, which has been working there to stop child labor in Mehboob Nagar district. Mr. Reddy, the fact that the children are working openly in those cotton fields, some of them even wearing their uniform, clearly shows that there is open defiance. Everyone knows that it's illegal to employ child labor, yet everyone does it while the system simply seems to look the other way.
Yeah, exactly. This is completely violation of Child Rights and Right to Education Act and all the rights which have promised in our constitution for these children. Exactly, the communities apart, the companies and everybody is looking for a child cheap labor and encouraging these children to work in those farms. That is exactly, there is a demand for cheap labor, and these companies also not showing interest to employ adults instead of children, and the communities, labor department, government departments also not showing interest to put cases on these companies and their supply chain system.
Right. Mr. Venkat Reddy, is it also because the education system is not offering any hope whatsoever? In fact, this place is allowing an entire generation to wither away, learning nothing, in fact, absolutely nothing, because the system is completely abdicating its responsibility. How more pathetic can we really get?
When you look at these schools, there is an enormous demand from the poorest of the poor parents for the education, but the state is not responding to those demands. As you rightly said, as you saw in the field, there are number of hundreds of children in classrooms, and each classroom, and there are no teachers provided for these children. That is exactly, the state has completely failed to teach these children, to provide schools and buildings and teachers. I think these are the things which are facilitating to become child laborer or to instead of a studentship.
Right. Mr. Venkat Reddy, thanks a lot for joining us on Up South on that very extremely disturbing story from Mehboob Nagar district. Now the Telangana government rather ambitiously talks about a KG to PG program, but this is the reality on the ground. I spoke to Telangana's Deputy Chief Minister Kadiyam Srihari, he also holds the education portfolio in the state.
Openly, in fact, we found children wearing school uniform and working in the field. So the system is aware, yet it does not do anything. Why is the system unable to crack down on child labor, which is happening so openly?
Yes, I do agree with you. Child labor is more in Mehboob Nagar district. Yes. This is happening since decades. So to overcome that or to bring back the child labor into formal schools, we are opening KGBV schools. Kasturba Gandhi Balika Vidyalaya, Sine.
But these are children who are there in school, wearing school uniform and engaging in labor. I mean, things cannot get more ironic than that.
Yeah, definitely. Because of their family background, because of economic problems, many students are still going with their parents to work in the fields. There are so many other
also
issues.
Because the schools do not have teachers, so the parents say why to send them to school where there is no teaching happening.
No, that we will take care. Even after having teachers in schools, some children along with their parents going to work in the fields and to earn something to support their families or to have their own personal expenditures. This we have to overcome. As a society and government has to work on this.
And Labour Department doesn't do much about it.
Yeah, that's why this year, after I took over as Education Minister, I sent a proposal to the Labour Department to give back that child labor section to the Education Department so that we can take care of all these children and we can bring back them to the formal schools.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Let's turn our attention to Bengaluru, which is going to the civic polls on the 22nd of August. But in what is a jolt and a huge embarrassment to the BJP, former Bengaluru Mayor Shanta Kumari, who is standing for the BBMP elections on the BJP ticket from the Mudapalya ward, has now been charge-sheeted by the Lokayukta. The Lokayukta had raided her residence in 2012 in a disproportionate assets case, and Shanta Kumari is expected to withdraw her candidature from Maruti Mandir ward in Vijayanagar Assembly constituency. She is accused of amassing 1.38 crore rupees worth of assets disproportionate to known sources of income. The investigation revealed that Shanta Kumari, who is a three-time corporator, had purchased 33 properties valued at 2.72 crore rupees in and around Bengaluru city. A raid which was conducted at her residence in 2012 revealed that she possessed assets which were over 46% more than her income. Joining me now from Bengaluru is our Deputy Editor Rohini Swami. Rohini, for a party that preaches clean politics and hopes to do well in the municipal polls, this is really not the kind of beginning they would have really liked. How is the BJP leadership in Karnataka reacting to this development?
It has left the party red-faced and also the leaders, because also though the raid was conducted in 2012, they did not expect the charge sheet to take place so quickly, and the timing at which is also now what the BJP leaders are saying is suspect, because the Congress government is in power at this point of time, and the fact that she has filed for her candidature for the recent BBMP elections is saying that this is something in terms of a strategy that is being placed, that she withdraws her candidature. But they have no other option at this point of time with the Lokayukta charge sheet. Her. The BJP has fielded a number of women candidates, and Shanta Kumari being an ex-mayor, three-times corporator, they were hoping that they could actually gain that kind of momentum especially. The BJP is looking at these elections very closely. Congress government being the seat of power right at this point of time, the BJP was actually looking at going hammer and tongs against the Congress. But these kind of developments is definitely leaving them red-faced.
Welcome back. You're with Up South. Now think football in Kerala and you would think of different ways of innovative soccer. The latest one is mud football, and it would look like soon Diego Maradona and even Lionel Messi may come to Kerala to play a game of mud football.
Football cannot get more challenging than this, but that is where the artistry of the player kicks in. To control the ball, battling the elements, the rain, mud, water, and of course the rival team players. Welcome to Malappuram in Kerala. where unused paddy fields are turned into football grounds. Soccer couldn't be played amidst more scenic beauty.
ഈ ഫുട്ബോൾ ഇതുവരെ ഞങ്ങൾ 7s ഫുട്ബോളും 11s ഫുട്ബോളും മാത്രമാണ് ആസ്വദിച്ചിരുന്നത്. അതിൻ്റെ ഇടയിൽ വന്ന ഇത്തരം ഒരു ഫുട്ബോൾ വളരെ വളരെ ഇഷ്ടപ്പെട്ടു. അത് മറ്റേ ചളിയിൽ കിടന്നുള്ള കളികളൊക്കെ വളരെ ഇഷ്ടപ്പെട്ടു. ഇനി ഇതിൻ്റെ സംസ്ഥാനതല ഫുട്ബോളും കൂടി മലപ്പുറത്ത് തന്നെ വരുന്നുണ്ട്. അത് ഞങ്ങൾ ഭയങ്കര ആവേശകരമാക്കും.
5 players make up one team. And this match between Wayanad and Malappuram district teams brought in plenty of home support for Malappuram boys. With the tourism department spotting potential in this brand of rough football, it won't be a surprise if mud football is soon promoted as God's own football. With Revati Rajivan, Bureau Report, India Today.
From God's own football country, that's it then on Up South this Wednesday evening. News and updates will continue on India Today. Thanks for watching.